In this video we're just going to have a quick look at how to use percentage multipliers. So the key thing here then is timesing, multiplying, and you're going to times by the decimal equivalent of that percentage. So if we start off with a 16% increase, you always start with 100%, and in this case we are going to be increasing, so we're going to be adding on 16%. So what we're actually trying to find of this original amount is 116%. Now let's just consider some simple decimal equivalents to percentages. So just aside from this question for a minute, if we looked at what is 50% as a decimal, we're all fairly happy with, that's 0.5. What's 90% as a decimal? 0.9. And what is 100% as a decimal then? Well, that's going to be 1. Okay, so back to our question then. If we're finding 116% as a decimal, the equivalent is 1.16. So to calculate a 16% increase, all I need to do is the original amount multiplied by 1.16, and that will calculate a 16% increase for me. So I'll just type that in. Now that comes out at 26,680, which will be my final answer. Let's have a look at a couple more then. So this time it's a 22% decrease. So we're still going to be starting with 100%, but this time we're going to be taking away 22%. So when I take away 22%, that's going to leave me with 78% that I'm actually trying to find. And remember, we've got to convert that to the decimal equivalent. So the decimal equivalent for 78% is 0.78. So therefore what I need to do is start with my original amount and times it by my percentage multiplier to calculate my answer. So my answer comes out at 3,354. And another one, so this time calculate a 5% increase. So we start off with 100%, and it's an increase, so we'll be adding on 5%. So I need to look for 105%. I need to times by the decimal equivalent, 1.05. So I start with my original amount and times by my percentage multiplier, which gives me a final answer of 5,250. Last one then. This time we're going to calculate an increase of 3.5%. So I'm going to be adding on 3.5%. So I need to find 103.5%. Now that as a decimal equivalent is 1.035. So I start with my original amount times by my percentage multiplier and then find my final answer. So 300 times by 1.035 gives me a final answer of 310.5. Now let's just consider, we're talking about money here, so you should actually write £310.50. And there we go.